Waking Up Singapore. Gotta get up. The Big Show on Kiss 92. Gotta get up.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to the biggest and best breakfast show in the world. We are the Big Show, the original cast, back together again after Angel decided to abandon us for like maybe 3 weeks or so.
Almost.
Anyway, we have Natalie Dau with us. Good morning, Rockstar Arms.
Good morning, guys. The gold medal show. That's what you are.
Oh, wow. I like that. I just like to clarify, I did not abandon anyone,
The
okay?
sweetest. What do you mean?
I
You
didn't
abandoned us.
I did not
You abandoned Natalie Dau as well.
No, I was here for Nat. All the
Yeah,
way. Yep,
she
I was
was.
here for every
Actually,
show.
that's true for both of us. Yes, she
Yep,
was.
for the beginnings of the week. I
Sneaky
was,
you are.
yeah, because Nat's my girl.
Okay, you haven't been around? Lead the show. Angel,
Okay,
go ahead.
Natalie, thanks so much for being with us as always on a Monday morning. What's been happening with you? How was your long weekend?
My long weekend was great. A lot of Olympic watching. I'm pretty sad it's over, actually. So, hopefully that's inspired people to get out there and at least move their bodies after watching all these amazing athletes.
Speaking of which, how does one get motivated and move?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we look at some things that are happening around the world, I have to say I thought it might go away, but pickleball is going even crazier than it was before. It's the US #1 growing sport, and we've got franchises popping up everywhere. The Pickler has just sold 300 franchises in the US, so expect more to pop up. And Lululemon is even doing a pickleball range now.
Oh, wow. Okay, it's getting that big.
Yeah, crazy stuff. I know. So, I mean, I personally haven't tried it. I'm pushing back on it. I feel like it's for more elderly people, but I won't be quick to judge.
Nat, let's try it. Because some people have been inviting me to play pickleball as well. The only reason why I'm not playing pickleball, because I think they're using badminton courts, if I'm not mistaken, bringing the nets down and all that.
Badminton court.
I don't like makeshift courts. I want the court to be a proper court. And I don't know whether we have proper pickleball courts here in Singapore. You know what I mean? Just like pedal tennis, for example, right? When you watch them play competitively, it looks like it's an indoor court.
Yeah.
But we've got many outdoor courts here in Singapore. So I don't know whether that's the... that's actually the way it's supposed to be. I don't know, but I want to play in a proper court.
Well,
what do you think?
According to my search, there is a Singapore Pickleball Association, by the way.
Okay.
They have a pickleball court on the rooftop of Marina Square Mall.
Oh.
So it might be an actual court.
There's a paddle court up there as well. So
maybe
I wonder,
both.
Yeah, maybe both. But I'm with you, Glenn. They seem to be, the bottom of HDB's just changing those badminton courts to pickleball courts.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I think they're waiting for it to become more popular before an actual dedicated court is built, or a space is built. We are scarce on space, so let's see how that goes.
I need it to be classy. If not, I don't feel like playing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So what else are we going to be talking about this morning, Nat, after we work out?
Yes, so I think if we're heading in the region, I think we have to look at India's #1 sport, where 85% of spending goes. Anyone's guess on that one?
Cricket.
Badminton.
Yeah.
Badminton. Ice hockey.
Ice hockey in India.
Yeah, definitely cricket. And again, more franchises opening up there. One called Drive Fit, which is actually a 24/7 facility that offers cricket training facilities, yoga studios, and conditioning. So it's all funded by the Bollywood actresses. So let's see how that one goes.
Did he just say Bollywood actresses?
Glenn just woke up.
He
woke
up.
Oh, okay. I love. Okay, let's talk about that after we work out with Natalie Dau, shall we? Up next, 50-50 featuring Callie. This is Barbie Dreams on Kiss 92. Ooh, Bollywood. Let's go.
All right. Okay, guys. All right. Hopefully you can see me there. Okay. Today you are needing some water bottles or some hand weights. We're going to be doing a butt kick, sumo squat, Arnold press. We're going to be doing a plank pull and then a butterfly sit-up. So an all-over body workout for this morning, and it's not an easy one, so be ready. We're doing 40 seconds of work and 20 seconds of rest. Grab those dumbbells or water bottles, and we're just doing some butt kicks behind where we hold them. So just warming up those legs, but with a bit of weight, so it makes it harder. Again, if this is too hard for the first two exercises, you don't need to use anything. That's it. Loosening up. Get those legs moving. Just keep those arms nice and soft by the side, holding the weights. Don't have to grip them like your life depends on it. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's put one weight down. We're going to do our sumo squats now. So we only need one for that. Our legs are going to be nice and wide, further than hip width. Toes are pointed out slightly. 3, 2, 1, and down we go. Now again, you can hold the weight to your chest. If you want to hold it lower, that helps. Hold it lower, or no weight at all is fine as well. Pushing those knees out so you can feel it on your inner thighs. Feel it in your glutes, so coming up and squeezing those glutes. Good job. Nice rhythm. Trying to keep your back nice and straight as you go down. Give me one more rep. Okay, let's pick up the other one. We're going to do an Arnold press now. So that's above our heads. So we're going to hold the weights with our hands, our palms facing us. And then we're going overhead and touching. So coming back and overhead and touching. So it's like a little twist as you go up and then twist as you come back down. Nice and steady. Try not and put any bounce in your knees. We'll keep these as a strict movement. So really isolating our shoulders and our arms, and feel it in the top of your back. Good job. Give me one more rep. All right. Now, just one needed for the next exercise. We're going to go into a plank position, and we're going to be sliding that weight side to side. Take a nice rest, get ready, up into plank, and then let's move the weight. So left hand moving it to the right side and vice versa as we keep in a nice plank position. Keep those butts down, nice and steady. Now, if this is too hard, just hold it into plank. So that's your other option. Otherwise, let's move those weights. Suck in the belly. Don't be rocking side to side. Good job. You should really be feeling this in your core. And of course in your arms a little bit. Good job. Okay. Next one, butterfly sit up. No weights needed for this one. We've got the legs in the butterfly position, so our soles touching each other. We're going to be leaning back. Just enjoy the stretch for a second before we get into it. And up we come. So all the way back, hands touching behind our head onto the ground. And up we go. Remembering our feet should not be leaving the ground. So pop them under a lounge or a chair, or have someone sit on them. Good work. Keep going, keep going. Good job. One more rep here to finish strong. Nice one. Ooh.
Great workout. That was hard. I was observing. I can't work out today because I'm still aching from my workout the other day, man.
How many days ago was this?
This was 2 days ago.
Oh, right. Okay. I can't work out because I'm in a skirt today. So
actually, why do people feel this way, Annette? Sometimes, and over the years, it's happened. Like sometimes you work out a little bit harder, and after the workout, you just feel absolutely drained. And of course, I had like protein straight away, a protein shake, but. I feel like when I feel drained like that, I know I've worked out a little bit harder, but why do I feel so drained? I felt so drained, I just wanted to like take a shower and sleep for a while.
Hold on. Hold that
thought. Okay, we're going back on here.
Rumor has it he's the one I'm leaving you for.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Bear with me, quite a bit to get through. On the CTE towards the AYE, a vehicle's broken down before Ang Mo Kio Avenue 1's exit. Same situation on the SLE towards the CTE at the Lentor Avenue entrance. Also on the MCE towards the ECP after Maxwell Road's entrance, another vehicle has stalled there. And on the PIE towards Changi Airport before Jurong West Avenue 2. The same situation, a vehicle has stalled on the TPE towards the PIE after the SLE entrance. And finally on Woodlands Road, this is heading into the city. An accident has been reported after the BKE. Wherever you are, please stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. If you missed working out with Nat while we were on The Big Show TV, you're missing out, okay? Well, set number 2 is coming up. And today's workout is, I would say, medium in terms of intensity.
Yeah, I think, and a bit of strength in there. So medium intensity, a little bit higher strength.
And you can change the weights as well, right? You can grab a water bottle, you can grab weights if you have them at home.
Absolutely, or use nothing. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Everyone's got nothing.
Yeah.
So no excuse.
So, I just want to talk about intensity a little bit when people work out. And the day that follows that workout, maybe a day or two after, some people ache more, some people don't ache so much. What causes these aches and pains, and why do these aches feel like
you're dying?
No, not that bad, but it kind of like drains your energy to the point, you almost have to force yourself to work out again because you feel like, your biceps, for example, are so tight you can't extend your arms fully, or your shoulders are aching. It just kind of like brings you down in terms of your mood and in terms of how you feel.
So it affects your lifestyle, basically.
It does. And I think a little bit of soreness is good, but 2 days after is normally the worst. And if you can't walk or you can't move your arms, then you've actually probably increased your weight too dramatically in that workout. So you've got all this lactate buildup. It hasn't been flushed and it's sitting there and it's getting you sore. And that's different than feeling tired or not well. I mean, I think if you're feeling a little bit sick and you do a hard workout, or you're starting to get sick, or you're stressed, or you haven't had enough sleep, then that's going to impact greatly your workout too and drain you pretty fast. And I know, Glenn, you're good at refueling, but a lot of people do the hard workout and then leave it too long to refuel with that protein or carbs as well, to repair their muscles. So again, back to that recovery, it's so, so important.
Yeah, this time it took me 3 days to recover. Entire weekend I was golfing and I was hosting the National Day celebrations and all that. I was aching so bad. You
so it could be a weight
it.
thing. Like she said, you probably increased your weights too much.
Yeah, I think so. No, we just my trainer and myself, we decided to up the ante a little bit. So I trained on National Day and that was one of the hardest workouts ever. And then I kind of regretted it. I'm like, damn it, I've got to work the next day.
Now you've ruined your entire weekend.
No, but I'm feeling great today. I'm working out later as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but just so that people know, because there are many people who work out and they start to feel really sore and then they decide, no, I don't want to work out anymore. So I guess what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just encourage people, to just take care of themselves a little bit. And that's what Nat says. You need to have the proper nutrition as well, so as not to be feeling so sore, right, Nat?
Absolutely. And proper nutrition and also the proper recovery. Go for a walk, go for a swim, do something. So being a little bit sore is okay. Being a lot sore, maybe not so okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, time for set number 2 with Natalie Dau on The Big Show TV. It's 8:15.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by Putian Juicy.
All right, guys. Well, hopefully this doesn't make you sore. Yeah.
Being sore a little bit is good.
A little
bit of sore is good. Yeah, it feels good sometimes. Means you've worked out hard. And being a little bit uncomfortable is always good. So remember that. It's okay. All right, guys, picking up those weights, getting ready for those butt kicks, and let's go. If you're not feeling challenged in a workout, then you're not working out hard enough. Let's go. Nice rhythm, nice wide steps. Holding on to those weights. So feeling this in our calves. So great all over workout today. Focusing on our legs first. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's pop one of those weights down, keeping hold of the other or a water bottle or whatever you have. So the only exercise today that you really do need a weight for is the Arnold press or a water bottle. Everything else you can do without. All right, let's do those sumo squats. Really focused on those knees going out and squeezing that butt as we come up. Good job. Feel it in the quads. Keep that nice intensity going. If you have different weights at home, you can maybe do something a bit heavier with this one. All right, let's go. We've got those Arnold presses now. So play around with it, see how you feel. You don't have to stick to the same weight for the whole workout. Right, we're holding, remember, weights towards, hands towards our face, palms facing in, and then twisting and going up. So really feeling this in our shoulders, and you'll feel it in your triceps, in your biceps, in your chest. Really great exercise, this one. Get those arms pumping on a Monday morning. Good job, stay with me. A few more reps. Okay, down we go. We've got that plank happening. So getting ourselves ready into the plank position. Putting the weight just behind our hands, getting ready, going up. Let's hold it. All right, and let's move that weight side to side. So try and get it past your hand. So you're really stretching it out then. Good job. Remember, not swaying too much side to side. That's it. Nice tight core, squeezing your glutes. Staying steady. Stay with me. Good job. Okay, on to the last exercise. No weights needed. We've got those butterfly sit-ups. That's it. Getting ready to go. Nice stretch. 3, 2, 1, and up we go. That's it. Touching the ground behind and touching our toes as you come up. Getting a bit of momentum will always help. Remember to breathe while you're doing this. That's it, stay strong. And we're done. Good job, everyone. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday indeed.
Yeah, man. And for those of you who worked out just now, for both sets, you should be feeling quite good right now.
Yeah, it's a great way to start the morning.
Yeah, and if you're feeling like, okay, that's all I want to do today, that's perfectly fine. You've done something.
So, Natalie, we're talking about things to look out for that might get us moving or motivated, and you spoke about things locally, also in the region. But I'm sure running plays a part somewhere in there, right?
Of course. I mean, running has gone crazy around the world. We always know that it's growing and things, but I think now we're seeing China as the second biggest racing nation in the world, with over 400 million registered runners there now. So it's crazy. I know. And on April this year, on April 21, they had 53 road marathons in one day in China. So 470,000 people. So the joke is that they just can't get into a marathon at the moment. They're so booked out in China. It's gone crazy.
So when you say registered runners, does a runner have to register to be considered a runner? I don't get it. Like here in Singapore, how many registered runners are there?
I think basically what they're taking is people that have run in a official race or have entered a race. Yeah. So of course there's a lot of runners that are just doing it for fun, but these are people that have actually registered themselves and competed in whatever distance race it has been. So that's 400 million of them in China.
Wow.
My wish is that Angel registers for a run one of these days.
I ran the other day, like a kilometer.
Although she always says she can't run, but just being part of...
No, I think I can run. Yeah, I think I can run, but obviously I feel like I need like somebody next to me. Do you know what I mean? Somebody to motivate me to run. Because I get bored very quickly. So if
Standard Chart Singapore Marathon, do the 10K. Then you'll have all the atmosphere.
And I'll have all the other people as well running with me.
That's the worst excuse ever. Did you hear her excuse? I get bored easily.
I do, though.
Have you heard a worse excuse than that?
I know. Can that I'll be telling our kids it's good to be bored and to entertain yourself.
But can that actually happen to runners? I'm sure it can, especially on long runs, because it's just the same thing over and over, and then you lose focus.
He asks in a very serious tone.
Yeah, he's asking for a friend.
You know what? I think you go out in and out of boredom, of course, but you've got that momentum, so it's breaking past whatever that barrier is. For Angel, maybe it's 1 or 2 Ks, and then you're in a bit of a flow, and you just keep going. So when the starting is the hardest part. That first K for any runner is awful.
But don't get me wrong, I love the idea of running. I've always wanted to run. It's just that I think first, I have not got the proper pair of shoes. Second, I need the proper
sort of New Balance.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm wearing UAs, mind you. No. I was not the New Balance person. What was it? A6 against...
A6 against...
it was A6 against...
You're wearing UA. That's even worse.
Exactly.
Actually, I have to stand. You stand correct. I stand corrected because the UA ones that I have are the most comfortable that I ever have worn. So I'll need to speak to you about A6 as well.
Yes.
Clearly.
So what about that spray-on thing? You guys were talking about it the other day.
On.
It's almost like running barefoot.
No, there are bottoms.
Yeah,
there are bottoms, and then the uppers are sprayed on.
They used it in the Olympics as well.
Yeah.
They debuted it there.
God.
Yeah, marathoner used it as well.
Yeah.
Okay, wait.
Such a novelty.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the SLE towards the CTE, right before the Lento Avenue exit, look out for a broken down vehicle. Also on the BKE towards Woodlands, a vehicle is having a little trouble right before the Dairy Farm Road exit. Avoid lane 3 if you're heading down that stretch and stay safe.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is Rockstar Arms Natalie Dau, and they were just making fun of Angel. I think you should stop making fun of Angel.
Please.
One day she will take part in an event and she will run with us. I have to say, hats off to FD. He's done a 5-kilometer run with me.
What?
Yeah, we did an income run. Sometime back.
So you can
it's
run
an eco run.
Wanted to.
I can, but
Okay.
I've just got to be so careful with my back.
And that was at the age of what? I think 65. So hats off to you, FD, for doing the 5-kilometer run. 5 kilometers is something at least.
FD looks confused. He can't remember this run.
I'm thinking.
FD.
No, I'm
Do I have to
thinking.
call Dementia Singapore now?
Yeah. Didn't take my pills this morning.
Oh,
I'm thinking that it's odd that you remember that.
Yeah. Clearly.
Because it must have been punishing for me because it's gone right out.
He cannot remember running 5
I cannot remember the run.
I will kick your behind. I was behind you watching your back. Or should I say watching your backside? You can't remember this run?
I cannot remember the run.
My God.
It can't be 3 years ago because I was already with you guys.
Yeah,
3
yeah,
years
it
ago.
must
I
be
think
more
your
than
days
that.
on the show are numbered. May I say this right now in front of everyone listening in?
Don't. Okay,
It was such a big event. All of us were there. Our GM, Mr. Sim Hong Hot, was there. You know, we were all there.
No, okay. It's coming back. It's
Okay,
coming back.
This was, wait, this was pit building.
Yes.
Okay,
it's
now I
coming
remember
back.
the run.
Okay, it's coming back.
I remember.
Okay, good. We
Okay.
don't.
Took a while there.
We don't need to institutionalize him just yet.
Fool.
No committing for you. Okay, Natalie, just some final words. What other sports should we be looking out for in terms of what's out there?
Glenn, I think I've got one for you. Foot golf. Have you heard of that? It's basically hybrid of football and golf. So played the same way, but you're kicking the ball into an enlarged hole. But they also expect you to wear your good golf outfit as well.
Oh, sign me up.
So the next time you kick a ball in, nobody can say anything.
Sign me
Oh,
up.
that sounds cute.
Yeah, so it's been going since 1920 in Norway. So let's see if it hits Singapore.
It doesn't sound like it's caught on much, though.
Because, I mean, where do you play, foot golf?
Yeah.
Nicholas Fang just walked in. Nick, have you heard of foot golf?
I beg your pardon?
Foot golf, as in football and golf.
I think I have. You can use oversized ball around. Right?
Is it an oversized ball? Yes, it is.
Oh, there you go.
We'll get his microphone on.
Okay, we'll talk to Nick about that as well. Foot golf.
It's not going to be in the Olympics.
It's not going to be in the Olympic Games, he says.
Break dancing, Moz. Let's do a call out to Ray Gun and a break dancing.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, last question. If we have any, we've got to let Nat go.
No, I think that's it, Nat.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you so
good
much.
from me, guys. Thanks. Have a great week.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Nat.
Bye.
All right, coming up next on. Did I just say hurry up?
Yeah.
Hurry up.
Hurry up.
Hurry up, Mike.
Coming up next on The Big Show and The Big Show TV, we've got Nicholas Fang, Director of Security and Global Affairs at the Singapore Institute of International Affairs, and we're going to do an Olympics wrap-up. Meantime, here are the Black Eyed Peas with Pump It on Kiss 92.
Okay, we're on there. Hello.
Morning, bro.
Good morning. We're on air.
Everything is live.
It's live. Yeah, good morning. Everybody can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're all nice and live.
Okay, the Olympics. I have to say,
Did you watch the closing ceremony, by the way?
I
No.
did.
Yeah,
it's on.
It's on.
Yeah.
Can you hear yourself?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. Just adjust the volume over there if you
all
need
good.
to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did watch
So
it
you
this
stayed
morning.
up? My goodness! Oh, you woke up.
I woke up.
You woke up.
I'm
Okay.
early.
How
Every
was
day.
it compared to the opening ceremony?
A bit more traditional, obviously, in a stadium, which is I think we're a lot more used to seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if we do it on a more meta basis, it's very hard to organize major events like the Olympics, opening, closing ceremonies. How to do something that makes everybody happy,
Of
that
course.
ticks all the boxes. You know, there'll be traditionalists who expect to see certain things. There'll be young audiences that you're trying to appeal to as well. So, you know, I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about that. But obviously, very challenging to make everybody happy.
Of course.
And you know, there's all this conversation about is it going a bit woke? Is it trying to be a bit too you know, young
woke.
generation, to Gen Alpha or whatever it is now? But I think if you were Thomas Bach, the president of the IOC International,
who is an
Olympic
old fart
Committee,
himself.
he's an Olympic champion in fencing, so I have a soft spot for him.
No. I like him. I do like him.
But he's stepping
Have you
down
met
next
him?
year. No, I
you
haven't met him.
haven't,
But
okay.
he's stepping down next year. So obviously if you look at what he's been doing in the past few years, he's been trying to keep the Olympics relevant. I think that's a big challenge. You know, so they're introducing, I'm sure, and that also,
Breakdancing.
exactly, the slightly newer sports that many of my friends who are, you know, old timer purist traditionalists would you know, turn their noses up at.
Yeah.
But how else do you keep a young audience engaged? You know, I think that the TV audiences have been sort of dropping over the years. The sheen around the Olympics seems to be going down. They're super expensive to organize. People don't really want to host major games anymore.
Yeah.
And you see Paris. I mean, I don't know what you guys thought about how Paris did as hosts. I think
I liked it.
Yeah,
But many people didn't, though.
They tried some different things.
Yeah.
That some worked out and some didn't work out so well.
Right.
Swimming in the river, for example. My goodness, you know, I was watching the triathlon and
A few got sick, right?
Yeah, we weren't even sure whether it's going to happen. You know, whether they're going to swim because of all the basically poop in the water, right? But they said there's no plan B. You know, we're not swimming in the Seine. We're not doing we're cancelling the swim. We just do a bike run, which is weird for triathlon. Some people would say that was insane.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well done.
In their
Good
membrane.
one.
Insane.
But yeah, you know, it's really tough to try to make it work. But you know, this morning's closing, Tom Cruise rappelled down.
We heard.
Rode off on a motorcycle.
And magically appeared in LA. Yeah. Hollywood sign.
Yeah.
So there was something for everyone, which is why I felt like the opening ceremony was so special, right? I mean, highlighting all their their attractions and all that. They've got the best of both worlds. So you do the opening ceremony outside of the stadium, and then the closing ceremony you do it in the stadium.
Yeah,
you know, I thought it was a very special Olympics.
But like you said, they tried to please as many people as they could.
And you'll never get 100% approval when you do that. I mean,
course.
I loved the opening ceremony. There were parts that stuck. It was like a dagger going through me. I really didn't like certain parts of it. But it was that opening ceremony that for the very first time in my life made me go, okay, I've got to watch the Olympics today.
He didn't like the heads blowing up.
It was, you know, it's just that the way it started was so majestic. It was so big that I wanted to now follow this Olympics, which is something that I've never had with the Olympics. I'll pick and choose a few events.
That's a great point.
But,
you know,
I've never wanted to watch it.
Yeah,
but it really drew me in.
But you're right, though. I mean, things like live events besides the World Cup and all that, which I'm sure also sees a decline as it moves on in years, because people don't want to be restricted by when they watch something. They want to be able to watch it on the go, right, at their own time. So,
in World Cup, you have a lot more betting going on, so you
this
always
is true
have
as
that
well.
audience.
I'm sure there's betting in the Olympics as
I think
well.
so. I guess
right?
so. Yeah, just some of the sports, you know, how would you bet on breaking?
Yeah.
I don't even understand what's going on most of the time with that one. I tried watching a bit of it. Yeah, I don't know. Did you guys anecdotally feel that you had people in your circle who were drawn to the Olympics?
Yeah.
I think
he was the person
watching it a lot.
He was our go-to person, actually, because you know, with his back like that, he can't do anything.
Right?
He's just sitting on the couch the whole day watching the Olympics. You know, so anything we needed to check, we would go to him.
But I found it an amazing Olympics. I really enjoyed it.
Did you figure out how the kite foiling results were calculated?
No, that I didn't figure out. I tried, I couldn't.
That was so complicated. Even the person who was in charge, I think was he the vice president or the president of the Sailing Association or something like that? I can't remember his name now. He came on and he was talking to the host, trying to explain what kite foiling was, and he tripped up on many occasions in terms of the point scoring system. Right? It was really so weird. Complicated. My goodness.
My mom was watching it and she was asking me, so does he win? When does he win?
We'll just wait for the podium, right?
I was like, I think based on what they're saying that this is the scheme, but. After that, my mom was saying, "Oh, at least I learned something new, and I learned about a new sport." So great.
Looks cool, though.
And I think in Singapore, because I missed the better part of the Olympics because I had a lot of other stuff going on. But on Friday, I went to a friend's house and we were watching it before or after the National Day Parade and all that. And I think for one thing is that it brought Singaporeans together because they were rooting for certain people in the sports, especially Max, right? He was our next big hope for the gold medal. Yeah. I mean, he got bronze, fantastic job, but it did bring people together because they were rooting for it, even though they didn't understand what the sport was about.
Yeah.
Everyone's just kind of waiting. Okay, is he going to get a medal? If he does, great. If he doesn't, then, no love lost.
And you see, that's the thing, right? About Singaporeans, we just want a gold medal, we want a silver medal, we want a bronze medal, or whatever. We don't care, necessarily about the sport, unless it's of course swimming. I mean, these are the sports that are really close to our hearts, right? More popular sports, badminton, but kite foiling is like new. I think half the population still don't know what kite foiling is about.
Yeah.
Try modern pentathlon and try to figure that out at some point.
Oh my goodness. What other new sports were there at the Olympics? Was it only breaking that debuted?
No, breaking, skateboarding, kite foiling was also...
Skateboarding made a comeback, right? It had been there before, right?
I think skateboarding was there in Tokyo.
I feel like it had been there before.
It was in Tokyo. It was in Tokyo.
So it made a comeback.
Yeah, so breaking, kite foiling, and I'm sure there's a
kite foiling is a debut as well.
It was a debut,
right? Okay.
That's the first time, so quite historic for them.
So there you go.
Yeah.
And of course, it had to be a break dancer who decided to do something and get disqualified from the Olympics, right?
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Free Afghan women. And then boom. Excuse me, you're disqualified.
Oh dear. No political statements.
There were a couple of incidents as well. I think some of the athletes got sent back because they passed their pass to their sister to help them pack up their luggage.
Oh dear.
So
there was an athlete that lost his wedding ring in the Seine.
In the Seine, in the
opening. I
think
he was a rower or something like that. And then he put up an Instagram post and he told his wife, he said, maybe you can throw your ring in too so that our rings can be together.
Oh my God.
And then all the more reason to renew our vows.
Wow.
If I had a friend like that, I would strangle this
But there
guy.
were quite
it's
a
like
few,
trying to spoil the market for all of us.
Quite a few proposals as well that happened. I think the Chinese badminton, there were a few others as well.
I got a controversial question for Nick.
Can you ask it on air?
No, that's the thing. I don't think I want to do that on air.
Okay.
Why?
Okay, come on, go ahead.
Because I don't think it's... Okay, I'll ask it on air then.
Kiss 92 traffic.
If you're on Paya Lebar Road heading towards Eunos Avenue 5, look out for an accident after Geylang East Central and avoid the left lane. Also on the BKE towards Woodlands, an obstacle has been spotted at the Dairy Farm Road entrance. And finally on the AYE towards the MCE before Yuan Ching's exit, a vehicle has stalled there. WhatsApp us if you spot anything. It's 88550920.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning, our second guest for this morning is a good friend of ours, Nick Fang, Director of Security and Global Affairs at the Singapore Institute of International Affairs. These days, Nick does quite
everything.
A lot. Nick is also an ex-national fencer, which is why I think it'll be appropriate to go straight into today's interview because, I mean, Nick is here to wrap up the beautiful Olympic Games that has been going on for the past few weeks. And I want to talk about fencing. You have your own fencing academy now as well.
That's
don't
right.
You?
We started. I'm a former national fencer, but I'm still a fencer now. It's just I'm a veteran fencer. I compete in the uncle category. So
how's the uncle category looking?
It's pretty competitive still.
Okay.
There's still a lot of guys who used to be national team and then for whatever reason, sort of retired and then still want to compete. So we started a fencing club, Legends Fencing, about just almost to the day a year ago, just catering to adults and veterans because we didn't have any place to really train in Singapore. So we're the first club that's dedicated to people who are adults, from newbies to people who have fenced before as well. So that's good fun. A couple of weeks we're going to Hong Kong to compete in the Asian Veterans. We're defending our
You do that
team.
every year.
Yeah, we're defending our team title. So
it's such an elegant sport, fencing.
It is.
It's really elegant. Yeah.
Then give it a go.
Not when I'm doing it, but yeah, I think when some people
You're not
do
so
it.
elegant.
Who wants to give it a go? Just give Nick
for
a
sure. I
call,
think
or
that should be
you let
fun.
me know. I will let Nick know. Right? I mean, you welcome beginners.
Of course, we're going to do something for all of you guys when FD is back into competition shape.
Speaking of beginners, how young can someone start at fencing? I'm just curious.
3.
So our youngest member now is 18. Our age limit is 18 because we're an adults club. But you can start earlier. I think 5-6 years old in Europe is quite normal. But for us, our youngest is 18 and our oldest is 63. I think turning 64 this year. And our oldest fencer started in the 50s. So you can start at
You're going to have a
stage.
68-year-old very soon.
Can, yeah. We'll definitely
I don't
work
know about
something
this
out.
one though. He has his walking stick to use.
I can practice now.
You
Saber.
can hide a sword inside there.
Yeah.
as well.
Yes, I've heard. Yes.
So what do you think of our national fencers, Nick?
I think it was super credible because we had 2 athletes qualify outright for Tokyo, and then they qualified again in the same path in Paris. So to have that and to have that kind of experience is fantastic. I think they equaled the result from Tokyo in Paris. But I was looking at them and I know both of them, and you look at them and I know they wanted to do better, right? They don't just want to maintain, they want to do better. And when you see other countries, especially Asian countries, we've seen Japan do really well. They got 2 gold medals in the fencing. And Hong Kong, as a small city, also brought back 2 gold medals. So a lot of people are asking me now, if Hong Kong can do it, what about Singapore, right?
Oh, I love the 2 Hong Kong fencers, man. I have to say, the lady is quite good looking. I have to say. So I'm like, I want to be a fan. I'm a fan.
Her biggest attribute is her mental control. When she's leading by 10 points or trailing by 10 points, she's exactly the same. She doesn't freak out. She doesn't panic. She just carries on and does her thing. And it's awesome to see it pay off.
That's the kind of girl you want to be with.
Whether you're
With a
trailing
strong
by
mind.
10 points or ahead by 10 points, all the same.
Yeah,
And you still lose in the end.
Okay, we'll continue to talk to Nick on The Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Maren Morris with Cut on Kiss 92. Yeah, man, I was watching her. My goodness, she could be a Hong Kong actress, no?
Oh, yeah?
So pretty.
Good looking. So Nick,
And even the guy is like really
good looking as well.
No,
Oh,
stop
You-
it.
you
Why
were
do you
saying
always
good
talk
looking.
about looks?
Yeah.
You started it.
Angel,
Thank
angel.
you, Nick. Thank you, FD.
But Hong Kong, very good at fencing.
Okay.
And this was a strategic thing, 20 years ago, they identified certain gaps that they saw in the international system. They said, these areas are a bit weaker. We invest in that. So that will give us the fastest returns in the shortest period of time. They started to do well. And then, they got more support. They started to do better. They get more support. So they got into a virtuous cycle in that sense. So I think when we look at sport development, this is a really great example. Small territory again. They had benefit of being close to China, so they could piggyback on a lot of their training and competitions in China, which was a good thing.
Right.
But they had made a strategic, conscious decision to say we're going to go in this direction.
That's
So
a good strategy.
Yeah.
Okay, Nick, this is the question I wanted to ask you earlier on. This question came in. Is it fair to match a female against a transgender in boxing? I think someone is talking about the gold medalist, Iman Khalif,
Yeah.
I think, who won a gold medal. But I've done my research, and she's not transgender.
She's not.
She is a girl,
Yes.
right?
So so this is a very complicated issue, and it brings together two things that I enjoy the most: sports and a little bit of geopolitics. So the whole controversy is not just her, but an athlete from Chinese Taipei.
Yes.
Both sort of failed gender genetics testing.
Oh no!
Instituted by an organization called the International Boxing Association, IBA.
Okay.
And it said they detected XY chromosomes in their system, which is traditionally recognized as the male chromosome. Now, the science is a bit beyond me. I'm not a genetic, scientist, but apparently having an XY chromosome doesn't necessarily mean you're immediately male.
Male, yeah,
right?
of course.
Genes work in funny ways. And I think they have identified as female from birth. They have grown up as female. They have always been female. They've always been recognized as female. And they competed under this IBA banner for many, many years as female. And then in 2023, apparently, allegedly, they took this test and then they didn't pass.
Yeah, that's a little bit unfair, though.
IBA is the International Boxing Association.
Now, the tricky thing about the IBA is that they have been sanctioned by the International Olympic Committee, and they are no longer recognized as the global body for boxing. So the boxing competition for this Olympics was run by the IOC themselves. They said there's no boxing federation. And largely because, and this is what the IOC says, the IBA is influenced by Russia, and there's some issues on transparency and governance within that organization. So if you take a step back and if you see the global situation between Russia and the West and Russia and Ukraine and stuff like that, it wouldn't be a stretch to imagine that whatever Russia can do to cause a little bit of problems at the Olympics, I don't think they would mind terribly doing that. So some people believe that that's where this controversy sort of sparked off. Were these two, so both these athletes, the Chinese Taipei athlete and Khalif, they both did very well, and they were much stronger than their opponents. So it's also not hard to imagine why people would complain when you have somebody who's too dominant, right? If you see anybody who's dominating the sport, usually people will start to say, there
will be haters,
this one must be cheating, whatever. And then, of course, this IBA result in that sense sort of reinforced that. So I think to say this whole transgender thing is tricky, because transgender implies somebody who identified and lived as a certain way and then converted, and then leveraging on that has an advantage. In this case, they were always identified as girls, right? They grew up as girls, and they were always recognized, and they competed as girls for years. So to then say, it's cheating because they're transgender, they changed their gender and they came in, I think that's untrue.
But then there are some cases of transgender sports people who were male and then are competing as female in, like, I think there's the weightlifting and a few other sports,
but not in this,
not in the Olympics. But I mean, eventually there will be, because it's becoming more common,
correct,
and more accepted. So,
but that's a topic for another day.
Another day,
back to Team Singapore, Nick. How well did Team Singapore fare?
I think Team Singapore did again amazingly, and if you look at the review that was done by the head of the Singapore Sports Institute recently, I think he raised a really good point, which is that beyond the medal, which is obviously an awesome job by Max, bearing in mind he's a 17-year-old making his first appearance at the Olympics, to bring back a medal of any color is fantastic. I know we said that a lot of expectations were on him because of his past results, but Olympics is a tricky event. It's super high pressure, and something like sailing and kite foiling is crazy, right? Because you're not just competing against other people, you've got the wind, the water, the conditions. Waiting around for the wind to come, and changing your kite when the wind goes higher or lower and stuff like that. It's super unpredictable. So for him to bring back a medal, I think super well done. But overall, the key thing to note is that we had 23, I think, athletes qualified across 11 different sports, qualified outright. In the past, we used to depend a little bit on wild cards and things like that, but we've stepped it up a little bit. And that's very encouraging. We talked about the fencers, they are able to go there, they're able to perform, right? They're not going there and getting knocked out in the first round. And what the SSI chief was basically saying was that now we have to figure out how to have a bit of that killer instinct, how to, when the winning moment comes, how do we
I love that.
do that?
I love that. You're talking about Dr. Su Chun Wei,
that's
right?
Yeah.
And I loved it as well. And I actually, when I was watching him, I actually put down these words that came out of his mouth. To win and to be ruthless. I think this mindset is so important, and this mindset has been lacking. I mean, no one has said it out loud, but this is great.
The killer instinct.
Really like that.
Yeah.
Let's go back on air. Jack Johnson with Banana Pancakes right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. That sounds kind of good, actually, right now.
Yeah, it sounds
banana
yummy.
Pancakes. Everyone loves banana pancakes. Anyway, our guest for this morning is Nicholas Fang, Director of Security and Global Affairs at the Singapore Institute of International Affairs. I was just asking him about how, Team Singapore has fared. And we actually started talking about the fact that the mindset is changing, and we also spoke about the Singapore Sports Institute chief, Dr. Su Chun Wei, who's encouraging athletes to just focus on winning, and even if it means being ruthless sometimes, and I think that's a shift, I feel, in mindset. And also, is that the reason why Team Singapore seems, or the contingent rather, seems much younger than past contingents? Is there a strategy there?
Well, I'm not sure it's an intentional strategy, but we have a lot of debutants, as we were saying, a lot of new sports and a lot of new athletes from Team Singapore taking part in the Olympics. A lot of them are teenagers, including Max, who won the bronze medal. So I think looking to the future, it looks very positive. But I don't know how many of us actually track Singapore sports over the years. And this morning on the way here, I was just thinking, when I first started to know about the Olympics when I was really young, it was Tan Hao Liang.
That's right.
Who brought a silver medal at a time when sports was very different from where we are today.
That was for weightlifting.
That's right. And then we were in the wilderness for quite a long time until our paddlers, our table tennis players, started to come up and started to compete. And that was part of the foreign athlete strategy that we had, which was to bring in top international athletes to Singapore, naturalize them, and then uplift the standard, and start Singaporeans thinking that, hey, if these people that I train with, I see every day, they make it to the Olympics, and why not me? And instilling that sense of belief that maybe we belong on the global stage. And then we started to see more and
Locals,
more better performers at the SEA Games, Asian Games, Commonwealth sort of level. Of course, culminating with Joseph Schooling bringing back the gold medal in 2016. And then now I think if you look across sport, you see a much greater sense of belief that we can qualify and we can go to the Olympics, by right and start to compete, whether it's in swimming and all these other sports that we're seeing such good performances at. And then the next evolution is, okay, now that we feel that we deserve to be there, we belong there, and we are confident to qualify, how do we start winning more medals?
Right.
And coming back to that point, Glenn, that you were making earlier, that draws more people into sport because Singaporeans love to have somebody to cheer for. Right? You can watch sport and kind of enjoy it, but if you say, hey, I know this guy, and I'm going to be rooting for him, it makes it that much more exciting. You watch it with friends, it brings people together. So I think we're on a good trajectory. I just hopefully we can build on this.
I mean, Max obviously being so young, I think he's got at least 2 more Olympics.
At least.
He could possibly be winning like a bronze and a silver and maybe a gold or a bronze and gold in the next two Olympic Games or whatever. One last question before I let you go, because we've got to go for a news break as well. Do you think Joseph Schooling is going to be our only Olympic gold medalist ever?
No, I definitely don't think so. I think Max, as we said, has great potential. He's 2-time world champion, so he can not just compete but dominate at that level. Just needs a bit of luck in a sport like kite foiling. But I'm hoping that we see, coming back to our 2 fencers, Kiria and Amita, they've both said that they want to take a bit of time away from the sport, to take a break and to recalibrate. But they've got these 2 campaigns under their belt. It's 8 years worth of training. It's nothing to scoff at. Yeah. They have the experience of being there at the Olympics, so they know how everything works. If they could lead a team to qualify for the next Olympics, if they could qualify again and go for something more than just participation, but maybe a medal, I think we need to have as many sports as possible that have guys and girls contending for medals, to give ourselves the best chance. We cannot just put all the pressure on Max, and say that you have to do it. So I hope that the entire Team Singapore starts to elevate in the footsteps of Joseph, in the footsteps of Max, and all the champions we've had before us. But no, I am going to put myself out there and say I don't think Joe will be the only. He will always be the first gold medalist for Singapore, but I don't think he'll be the only one, based on our trajectory and where we're headed now.
I love that optimism. Okay, here's to the next Olympics.
And I can't wait to speak to Max. Max will be in the next few weeks, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Thanks to DBS. Okay, thank you so much, Nick, for joining us today. We definitely want to have you on the show again soon, but Nick's a busy man.
Of course he is. He wears so many hats.
Yeah, we just decided on this yesterday after playing golf, actually.
We'll be here.
Okay, thanks, Nick.
Thank you, guys.
Wake up feeling good. The Big Show.
In the morning.
Kiss 92.
The consequences of drug abuse can be tragic and loud, or unheard and unacknowledged.